Communicating is difficult at the best of times, but during a pandemic, it becomes a real challenge. My name's Andy Humphreys. I'm the Web and Social Media Manager for South Central Ambulance, and today we're going to have some questions and answers that explain how we've managed to communicate digitally.
Hi, my name is Claire, and here's my first question. So it seems like everyone is using social media such as Facebook and Twitter to communicate at the moment. But what about you, Skaz? How are you using social media to reach the public?
Well, thank you. That's a really good question. Yes, of course, in this day and age, we'd be lost without social media. Here's our Facebook page. And as you can see, we really do put a lot of work into this. We've got over 33,000 people who follow us, and it gives us the ability to back up government messages, but also to put out local messages, and then for people to interact with us as well. One of the pioneering things that we did was to do Facebook Live, showing children our 999 Ted character. This is particularly great because remember, right now we can't do the things that we would normally do. We can't go into schools and talk to pupils about the way the ambulance service works, how we can help them, how they can help us, how they shouldn't be afraid. So Facebook Live gave us the ability to beam directly into their homes. And I must say, the hit rates just went off the chart. These are by far the most popular things that we've done on social media during the whole of the lockdown. We also, of course, have a Twitter feed backing up corporate messages that come through from Central NHS, but also being very local, talking here about somebody who was really kind, who sent through some celebrations to our staff. I can honestly say that we've had virtual recruitment open days even. We've tried our best not to stop doing what we do and to just switch online. And finally, for our social media channels, we have our YouTube channel, and we've never been busier. As you can see, we've put out lots and lots of videos in the past months. Now, a lot of these are people filming from inside their house. We have experts from mental health, we have governors of the trust, but as you can see, we also have lots of people, lots of our staff filming while they're at work, actually coming in and keeping staff up to date. And I've never known a time when our output has been so high.
So with everyone using social media so much, is there still a place for a standard website?
I think the reason our website is so important is that it acts as a reference point. If you go into Google and type South Central Ambulance, this will come up on top. Getting people to work for us and fill our vacancies, especially during COVID, is the number one thing. So that takes pride of place on the front page. Having said that, underneath we've got all of the coronavirus latest government links, which once again is very, very important. All our press releases are put under our press release section. This helps the public and the newspapers stay on top of all of the very latest information that we have. The other thing that we want to do, going back to what I was saying earlier, is link through to all of our social media areas. So by hitting the website, it's the glue that holds all of our information together. So one area that we've had to be very innovative is the area of public talks, and our Your Health Matters area is an example of that. Previously we would go out and do little talks, little lectures in the community that were really well received, and we've just done those digitally. So you can see here we've been able to keep up our public engagement, and you know, all of these are on YouTube as well, so I would encourage all of you to go along and ask questions. This is your opportunity to find out what we do and how we do it, but also maybe you could suggest various other areas and topics that you'd like to see covered going forward.
So, in addition to the external website that you have for the public, do you also have an internal website where your staff and team can find the information that they need too?
We have a staff COVID portal and a staff intranet. So by placing these on the front page of our global website, staff who were out of the office could easily find a way in to our intranet, which, if I click, is right here. Now, because I'm already logged on, it's taken me straight to this page, but people from outside of our organisation wouldn't be able to see this page. So we built this in the middle of the pandemic. Probably a month in, we realised that we had to give all of our staff the best opportunity they could to make sure they had the latest medical directives, to make sure that they could see their policies and the procedures and the guidelines that were coming down from central government, which were changing weekly, sometimes daily. We split our information up into hot news, which staff just had to read right away, into COVID-19 news, so that even after the top news stories had rolled away, they could still find a place to go in and see all of the news. And finally, we had something called Yammer, which is like an internal Facebook. And this just allowed staff to encourage one another and to share information as time went by. All our departments had their own area where they could place all of their own information. And then we managed to correlate some of that information together into more logical, subject-based categories. So for example, here, all the policies and procedures from all over the site were put into the policies and procedures area so that staff could either find them via the folders or they could find them via the actual documents themselves quite easily in alphabetical order. We've also managed to have an area where staff can go to see instructional videos. We've got some on here about social distancing and wearing masks within our ambulance, encouragement from our chief executive. And once again, this is all really using the very latest technology so that our staff, even if they only get a minute, can log on with their own mobile phones to keep up to date.
So I can imagine that getting together physically at the moment is pretty much impossible. How do you stay in touch with each other, coordinate and attend meetings?
So for most of you out there, you'll either use Skype or you'll use FaceTime or you'll use Zoom. But of course, we need to make sure that all our systems are secure. So we use Microsoft Teams. And this is a COVID tactical cell meeting that you're watching now. In the middle there, you can actually see the cell commander in the office, and all the other staff could be in any one of our 50 or so plus buildings that we have all over the organisation. So we also decided to push ahead and launch our live webinar broadcasts. These are something very new to us, and you can see our chief executive here, Will Hancock, directly talking to staff live. They can log on from any device and ask questions on a whole wide range of things, health and well-being, medical care, vaccinations, the ability for us to effectively create our own TV channel internally was an amazing feat, I think, in such a short period of time. And we've run half a dozen or so of these now. I'll be honest, we are still learning how to do them and the best times of the day to do them. Obviously, we have staff who are on shifts, who might work nights, so that all of our staff at least get a regular live update where they can ask questions similar to the government's daily broadcast during the height of the pandemic, where people had access to the senior members of the organisation. So as you can see, we've been using every tool in the book to communicate, not only with our 111 service, our PTS service and our frontlines operation crews, but also with you, the public. So if you want to stay in touch with everything that we're doing, don't forget to like, click and subscribe to our YouTube channel. or follow us at our website www.scas.nhs.uk. Thank you for listening.